Haldon Station is an iconic Mackenzie country property situated on the northern tip of Lake Benmore. It consists of 3 main blocks, now totalling about 22,000 hectares, running deer, sheep and cattle. The Clisser family has owned the station for 20 years. Station manager Paddy Boyd has been in his role for the last 30. He shows us around.
It's a high country station. It runs red deer, which we've got 6,000 of, and it's a fully operational herd where we breed and finish all our progeny. Then we have 10,000 Merino sheep in the extra fine micron band, and we have 1,000 cattle. 3 different stock types, but 6 different income avenues. The decision to run those stock types was made a long time ago, right back in when James Innes, the former owner, was here, and it was to give us, to make sure we weren't vulnerable to any of the markets, so we had a stock mix that suited the country, and we've built on that ever since. It's a dry climate. We're only an annual rainfall of 12 to 15 inches. So droughts are a real risk, so being able to keep a fodder bank up there, but having the irrigation that's another thing that we've sort of built away up. We've got quite a block of border irrigation, and we're actually slowly putting in some pivot irrigation. But the extra ones, we've got consents in for another 190 hectares now. But the reason we want that is to insulate ourselves against droughts and not have to buy food sources from outside. The size of this place is rather large as a privately owned station, but it has a lot of big arid land, and the station works on labour. We have 4 young guys that work here as shepherds and tractor drivers, and we have 4 married couples on the property, including myself. I include myself as a working person on the farm all the time, because I do. And then we have a couple that cook and do all the gardens and the maintenance around here. So there's 10 permanent staff, but this place needs staff to work the way it does, and it works very, very economically. We have a Hereford breed group called Gene Plan, and that was started here 40 odd years ago, and these cows are part of the elite herd of it. We have 400 odd Hereford cows that are all fully recorded. They work in the commercial situation. They have spent all winter no hay, just tussock grass on the Kyrgyzstan run, and they've come home. Those specific ones we fetal aged when we pre-tested this year, they are all due to calve in the first 10 to 12 days. So I brought them home 3 weeks ahead of the rest, and there's another group, they're all slowly rolling home, but they've been home 3 weeks, given a bit of feed, and they're up ready to roll. We tag every calf at birth. Basically, night, morning, I go around as they drop, weigh the calves, record the cow's temperament, pick the calf up, look at her udder, several scores, condition score. And I've been doing that now for 30 years, and I've never been pushed over by a Hereford cow. They lean over your shoulder, but the temperament is incredible, so they're good to work with. They're very well analysed. It creates extra work for me, but we were wanting to make sure that we were identifying the freak animals and the very best all the time, so we wanted to genetically improve. It does make extra work with all this recording, but it makes our herd make real fast genetic gain. When the group was set up, the aim was to breed bulls for the group, and we're still breeding bulls, and we have an annual sale every year where we sell sort of 30 to 40 bulls, and those bulls go out to the guys that know how these cows are run and selected, and we have a very strong market for our bulls. Our Merino breed line is based on Merivale bloodlines. We were buying Merivale bloodlines within New Zealand, and then we wanted to expand our genetic base a little bit further, and then we started going to Australia and buying directly from Merivale and importing the rams ourselves, or semen, and AOing ewes. So we've had several of those programs, and it's sped up our progress a hell of a lot. There's been a big push towards the meat merino in the last few years. We have focused on the merino wool for our merino sheep for a long time, just to get that very appealing merino fibre, but it's very similar to our cattle and our deer. I've always selected very well-bodied sheep with good back ends, because I believe it takes a good motor to drive a good animal. So our merinos have traditionally been quite good-bodied sheep, so they're good meat animals as well. But I am not focused on the meat, it's the wool that we are focused on. Haldon Station was one of the pioneer farms in the deer industry when it was in its infancy. We got 3,000 hinds, breeding hinds. They're all red, and 500 stags, and then the progeny, of course. We breed most of our own sire stags, but we source the odd elite one. But I never buy a red stag under 200 Ks at 2-year-old. We get them with good body weights, good deep motors on them, and they work. We're predominantly breeding for meat and export, so they have carried through the winter and then sold at yearlings. But we need sires to breed that, so we run a small velvet herd as well. So we're running 100 sire stags, but we run 400 very good velveters. So there's 2 income streams coming out of there. The velvet is at the moment selling around $100 a kilogram, all up, which is a good market. But for the work that's involved and doing it properly, we need to be getting $100 a K. We have a very young herd of hinds. I run them in their age groups, so we only fawn to 6 years of age, because if you're doing a good genetic breeding program right, your young generation should be the better producers. So we have 700 young hinds go into the herd every year. So we're selling half of the females for meat and selling about 90% of the males for meat. We can't hit the peak spring market because we don't have grass in September and October, but we're killing by December for our yearling stags, and they're all gone by mid-January. And last year they averaged 60 kilograms on the hook, and then we go straight into the cull yearling hinds, and they're all gone by March. Irrigation is a crucial part of the whole Haldon operation. The existing one we've got, the border dike irrigation, was put in the 70s, early 70s, and that's why this farm works, is because it's only a small percentage of the area, but it allows us to actually manage the rest of it well. The irrigation plays the role of being able to finish stock, but it also plays the role of being able to supply us with our winter feed. If we didn't have irrigation, we'd be a breeding block only. We'd be vulnerable to the climate and to the markets.
This program was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.